This video is going to show you how I'm able to take just 2 little videos a day and turn that into 300 unique social posts across social media without a media team. This allows me to post every hour across 4 different social platforms, turning my social media presence into a gigantic lead machine. I'm going to show you what it does, how it works, all of the steps involved, so at the end of this video, you're going to be able to do the exact same thing. So make sure you stick around, and if you enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so more people see it. All right, so before we jump into the weeds and I show you all the prompts and all the automations, I want to take a second and kind of draw out this whole machine on the whiteboard so you kind of have a bird's eye view of what's going on. Because for me, I jumped right into the automations and I had a really hard time. I got lost a lot. So this is going to kind of be our North Star, so to speak. And it's going to show you how we take one short video, could be a TikTok, could be a reel, but one short video in that style, I'm going to turn it into 20 different posts. So what's going to happen is we're going to start here and we're going to obviously record that one video ourselves as a human. I like to put it on TikTok, right? That is my platform of choice. That is where I like to start all of this automation. It also works with a lot of the software that I'm using that you start on TikTok. It makes things really easy. Now that TikTok video being posted is going to be the first event that triggers this whole machine. What's going to happen from there is a couple of things. Number one, we're actually going to back up the video into Google Drive. So Google Drive is going to back everything up. And this, of course, acts as a vault in case any of our accounts get banned. We don't lose any of the content. But also, this is going to put the content in a place where a lot of automation software can pull from really easily. And if you've got somebody who doesn't want to be on social media, you can also do this. And you can just post it to Google Drive and everything else from Google Drive will take over. So the next couple things that are going to happen on this is what's going to happen is number one, we're going to take that TikTok and we are going to post it on Facebook as a reel, and then we're also going to go ahead and we're going to post it to Snapchat on the Spotlight feed. So we're going to take one and we're going to put it in 3 different places from here. The reason why we're doing these basically right away is because we're using the rest of this with Make.com. Make.com cannot post to Snapchat, nor can it post to Facebook as a reel. So we kind of just have to repost. And then also through Google Drive, we're doing all of this with repurpose.io. And so we don't forget, I put little RPs there on all these. So again, we know that we're going from TikTok to Google Drive, Facebook, and Snapchat, all through repurpose.io. Now we're going to transcribe the video using OpenAI's Whisper model to get an accurate transcription of the video that we posted over here on TikTok. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a lot of content from that description using OpenAI. And once we have that transcription, we're now able to create 13 different pieces of unique text content that we're going to use all throughout the internet. In order, they are a fake tweet, which is going to go on a picture, just like the post that you see here. We're going to create carousel slides for Instagram. We're going to create a Facebook long form kind of article style post, a short form style tweet, Instagram reel descriptions that are unique with unique hashtags, an image description to go on our Instagram image posts, a description to go on our Instagram carousel posts, a long form LinkedIn article, a short video description also for LinkedIn. We're going to YouTube short description for that video, and then a blue sky image text, blue sky video caption, and then a blue sky text post as well. And all of this is done on autopilot using OpenAI and Make.com from this particular single TikTok that we recorded out here. And the last thing we do for part 1 of this machine is we're actually gonna take all of this content, all of the transcription, the original video file, and we're gonna store it all in Airtable so we can call it up later and post it all publicly. How part 2 of the machine works. It's going to take one of these pieces of content at random every single hour to 2 hours, and it's going to create the post in real time and post it on social so you don't look like a bot. So for instance, let's say 2 o'clock rolls around and we have this thing set to go off every hour on the hour. It'll go ahead, choose something at random, let's say an Instagram image description. It will then create the Instagram image post and then post it over to IG. Next hour comes around, let's go ahead and let's say it pulls up a blue sky image. It'll pull a blue sky image, post it over to blue sky. The next hour it comes and grabs a Facebook, posts over here to your Facebook. And what happens is since this is all at random, your profiles don't look like bots because you're posting at all different times of the day in a different order. Now let's hop into Make.com. I'll show you how to put all of this in action, but I want you to use this as the kind of high level overview as to how the whole thing works. We input one video, it transcribes it, creates all the content we're gonna need, and then what happens is it goes and it pulls at random and posts across social media when it's told to. Let's hop over to the computer. I'll show you exactly what I mean, including all of these prompts. All right, so I'm here inside of make.com where you can see once the file hits Google Drive, all of the automation with AI takes over. And before I go any further, I wanna let you know that I'm gonna put documentation in the form of a Google Sheet with all of these subscriptions, all the tools, all the AI prompts, all of that is gonna be right in the description. You can just grab it absolutely free. I'll put a link down below if you wanna go and check that out. This way you'll know exactly what to write and you can copy and paste everything that you see here in the video. Now, this is the point in the automation where it hits Google Drive. There's a couple of things that need to happen before we get to this point once make.com takes over. So first, obviously, it has to go into Google Drive, but before it hits repurpose, we actually have to get this thing up here onto TikTok. So let me show you real quick what my process is after I film a video talking at the camera, how to get it up on TikTok to kind of kick this whole thing off. So what I do is I actually record my videos here in CapCut. I use the camera function that's here. I hit on camera and I go ahead and I record my video in CapCut. When that is done, what I do, let me actually open up a project here that's done. Now, what I'm gonna do here on a CapCut, I'm gonna go into captions. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just going to create auto captions on the video inside of CapCut. This is gonna transcribe it on my phone, but I can't use this transcription in make.com because I don't have my phone hooked into the automation. So once that's done, we've created all our captions. I'm actually just gonna skip everything here, back out of that. And now what you're gonna see on the bottom, you're gonna see enter captions on the bottom left. I'm gonna click enter captions. I'm gonna edit the current captions, and now here's all the captions. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press and hold, select all, and then copy. From there, I'm gonna actually open up the ChatGPT app on my phone, at which point I've created a thread that's gonna create TikTok captions for me. So what's gonna happen now, I've got everything here. Again, I'll give you the prompt down below in a link. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste that transcript there, and now Chat's gonna create a TikTok description for me. As you can see, it has all of these elements, and then what's gonna happen. So now what Chat did was Chat actually created a full, big, long blog style TikTok description for me with all of these elements, the SEO style search questions, a keyword rich summary, niche relevant hashtag cluster, and then also my business at the end. The hashtag business is what basically tags repurpose.io on my end to put that in Google Drive in the business folder. Separates my TikTok shop videos. So all I have to do now is basically just select text, come into here, and then basically come all the way down. Select all of this text. We're gonna delete some of the headings later, but basically copy that. Now I can come here into TikTok Studio. Now all I have to do is basically select my video, come into here, hit next, and then hop over to here, and then all I have to do is basically just copy and paste, but all I need to do is, again, just delete some of this formatting that it put on there, come through here, you get the idea. And what's gonna happen there is now I can go ahead and I can schedule the post. Let's say this wants to go out on the 17th. At 7:26 p.m., we can hit done. Then I hit schedule. Now that post is scheduled to TikTok. When that goes up, all the rest of this is now going to take over. Once that video then hits TikTok, repurpose is going to take over for that first leg of the journey. So as you can see here, once it hits my TikTok, we've got my TikTok shop videos, my non-business ones go there, my business ones go here. That's why we added that hashtag there at the end. So what I'm doing is I'm also testing, just basically reposting all of my TikToks from one account to another TikTok account. Maybe it goes viral on the second account. I don't know, that's a test that I'm running. But from TikTok, it also goes over to my Facebook page. You'll see this one here because again, we can't post to a Facebook page using make.com for a reel. So it just takes the TikTok, throws it over there as a reel. Same caption, same everything, it just kind of throws it over. Next thing it also does, it actually goes from Instagram over to Snapchat. I thought I went directly from TikTok to Snapchat. So what happens is once something hits Instagram, it then goes over to Snapchat on the Spotlight feed, all of my reels. And then we've also got it set so that anything that hits my reels on my Instagram will also hit my stories. It'll repost it over to a story to get that additional placement. So this is all set up. I'll do a full video on repurpose.io. I'll put a card up here in the corner when I get to that. But that's essentially the first leg of this kind of machine is repurpose.io. So we've gone from TikTok, ChatGPT created our description, sent it to Google Drive, sent it over to Facebook, we'll eventually send it over to Snapchat. So once the video is here into Google Drive coming from repurpose, make.com is gonna take over where it's going to do all of the stuff and grab all those transcriptions like we saw on the whiteboard. Now, let me actually start fresh. We're gonna rebuild this step by step so you know exactly what goes into it. So what I've done here is I've actually wiped the slate clean here on make.com. We're gonna actually recreate this machine over here and then put things into this type of Airtable Airbase. Now, I'm on the free version of Airtable and I'm on the lowest version of Make. I think it's $11 a month. So you don't need to spend a whole lot of money creating this machine. In fact, I think this entire machine that I'm gonna show you cost me about $50 a month to run, and it was about 20 bucks to get off the ground and kind of preloading credits. You'll see here in a minute. So we're gonna start here with our first trigger. And our trigger here is, again, going to be Google Drive. We're gonna watch files in a folder. And now again, you're gonna have to add a connection, right? Basically just sign into your Google Drive. We're gonna watch files by created time. Choose a drive is gonna be the same drive. Now we wanna select the folder to be watched. I recommend you create a folder where you are putting all of your repurposed TikToks, all your repurposed videos in, so you're not watching your whole drive, you're only watching a small folder. We're gonna watch everything and we're gonna grab 5 at a time when this happens. We're gonna do this for all of them. So again, if you want to preload all of your old content into this machine, you can do that, hit all, and it's going to actually go back all your content and start repurposing everything. Or you can just do from now on and only do it with your new stuff. Doesn't matter to me, I'm gonna click all. Now at this point, what we are going to do for testing purposes, I'm gonna bring this limit down here into 1. I don't want it grabbing 5 right at the same time. Here, next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna download that file. What that's gonna do, that's gonna bring the file and make the file accessible to be manipulated by make.com. So we're gonna download the file, keep it here as enter manually, and then file ID, we're gonna take the file ID from Google Drive right there. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hit save. So to test this, we're gonna hit run once. You're gonna see it run, it's gonna grab that file, and then it's gonna go ahead, it's gonna download the file. And you'll see it here, it's got all of the file, all the information on the file, everything is there, right? It is now in make.com. Now, the next thing we have to do is we actually have to transcribe the file. And normally what we would do is I tried to use the OpenAI Whisper, right? Create a transcription in Make. But a lot of my videos that were running 90 seconds to 2 minutes long were too big to work in a make.com scenario. The file size was just too big because it was a video. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna convert this to an audio file so that this will work every single time and you're not restricted to like 30-second videos. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go here into a Cloud Convert module. You have to go ahead and create a Cloud Convert account. Again, I'll have links to everything down in the description, but it will not work on a free Cloud Convert account. First couple might work for free, but then you're gonna have to pay for credits. Now, for the pricing, it is extraordinarily cheap. I went with the 500 credits, which is essentially 1 credit per video, and it cost me $9 one time, which is essentially 2 cents per video. I'm happy to pay it if it's gonna do it. So we've got 2 cents a video, 500 credits. If you want to buy more credits up front, you can basically drive the cost down. But for me, to test it out, just $9 once, and then when I run out of 500 videos, $9 more. I've only created 2,000 videos in 4 years. So $9 is gonna last me over a year. Spend the $9, get your account. Then once you've spent your $9, you go into Cloud Convert over here and connect it to your make.com account. Generally, you just have to log in. I think Cloud Convert had to create an API key. It's very well documented how to go ahead and do that. Now what we're gonna do is the input file is gonna be from a upload a file. And you can see our Google Drive file is right here that we just downloaded. So we're gonna upload that over there. I know the input format is a MP4. So we know it's an MP4. And then we're gonna output it into an MP3, which is a sound file. From MP4 to MP3, and the file name, I'm just gonna keep the file name the same here and map it right to the name on the first file. Download a file, I say yes. Now we go here to save. So after we have our cloud converted and we have an audio file here, next comes time to go ahead and we have to actually transcribe that file. To do that, we're gonna use the OpenAI module here, and we're gonna come down into here where it says create transcription. Now at this point, you're gonna have to create an OpenAI API account to access all of this. But it's extraordinarily cheap. I'll show you how to do that. Basically, go to openai.com over here, which is login API platform. And basically, you're going to create an account. You can use just your Google account, or you can use an email. However you want to do, you just have to create an account with OpenAI. Once you've created your API account, everything is documented here through make.com. If you hit add, it's probably gonna pop a window. You're gonna have to get an API key, but again, there's all kinds of documentation here showing you how to do that. And again, you just have to preload your account with like $5. And again, that $5 is going to last a very long time. Like I've done, again, like almost like 600 videos here, and I've not been recharged yet. I'm still working on the original $5. So all that through there, don't worry about it. You're gonna be just fine. So once that's all integrated here through OpenAI, we're gonna transcribe the audio file, not the video file, because again, it's a smaller file size. Use the Whisper 1 model, and then the prompt is very simple. Please transcribe this file. That's all. Leave the output here in JSON, go ahead and hit save. And every once in a while, you might wanna just go ahead and just save the scenario, which is through there. Go ahead there, hit save. Now the video is gonna hit the Google Drive, it's gonna download it, convert it to audio, and then we're going to transcribe the file. But now we wanna go ahead and we wanna put that transcription somewhere so we can save it for later to create all the posts and kind of keep everything organized. That's where Airtable comes in. And once we're into our Airtable account, we're gonna create a new base. Now a base is like a workbook, a database, and then you're actually gonna have two sheets or two tables inside of our database. Now this is the one that I have running right now. I've got one table here for transcriptions, which is all the raw data that comes out, and then the other one here for social text, which is all of the output after we created all of the unique content. We're gonna build this one here. I'm gonna show you how to do it really easy. First thing I do is I just go ahead and I clear everything out of the base. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna name this first one here, we name this first table, rename it, and we're gonna go transcription data. We're gonna name this first table transcription data. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the fields here that we wanna keep track of. So what we're gonna do here is edit field. We're gonna call this one transcription ID. This is gonna be an auto number field. So what this is gonna do, this is gonna automatically generate a unique ID for every edit so that we can go ahead and we can just pull up the transcription. We know exactly which one it is. So your transcription ID, auto number is over there. Now we're gonna add another one here. We're gonna have a created date, created time, and this field name is gonna be date created. So if something goes wrong in a transcription, we can go back and look at the make records and then look at the Airtable records to figure out exactly which one went wrong, if there's ever an error. Again, local, I like local time, 12-hour. I do like to display the time zone on that there as well. Hit create field. So now we're gonna know exactly when this was created. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and have the actual transcription itself. Field type is going to be long text, because there's gonna be a lot of text in these transcriptions. We're gonna call this one transcription, hit create the field, and then we're gonna actually have a Google Drive link to the original file. We're gonna get that all through Make. Make is gonna populate everything inside of Airtable. So we're gonna call this one here, this one's going to be, I like to use a long text because the links might be kind of long. And this one here is gonna be like Google Drive link, create that field. And I also wanna grab the Google Drive file ID because it makes it really easy to call up and make a specific file versus trying to grab the right web link with the right permissions. It's easier sometimes just to grab it by the file ID. This one I only need a single line text. Google Drive file ID, create field. So now this is gonna be everything that we have here on our transcriptions. And then we're actually just gonna name this base here. We're gonna go social machine. I'm gonna use this one demonstration here, but you can call it social media machine. So now we've got our first table here. And while we're in here, let's actually just take the time. So now once we have this table here created, let's hop back over here into Make. And what we want to do is we now want to create a record inside of Airtable. We want to take all of this information that we just got, we want to put it inside of Airtable. So we're going to go here, add a module. I'm going to go Airtable. And again, you first have to connect Airtable, which is fairly simple. Basically, you click it, log in, it's going to authenticate everything. Now, once we add the Airtable module, we're going to come down here, select our base, which will be right here, social machine. And then our table, we're going to go into our transcription data. What this is going to do now, it's going to pull all of these fields. If you don't see all of the fields, all you have to do basically just hit this little refresh here, and it's gonna pull all of the new fields. Now for the transcription itself, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the output text here. So whatever OpenAI creates, it's gonna populate it inside that transcription. Then for the Google Drive file link, what we're going to do is we're gonna use the web content link here. Grab that link right there, web content link. And then for the file ID, click it, it's gonna map it, you grab the file ID right here. And now what that's going to do is that's gonna map all of that information on the table and then update the date created and give it an auto number ID. Go ahead and we're gonna hit save. Now the next thing that we wanna do is we wanna actually set the call to action in all of the other unique content. And the reason why I wanna set it here is because if we are selling something different or we change our offer or we change what we want people to do, all we have to do is update it here and it's gonna change that CTA across all of our platforms. Now to do that, we're gonna add another module and we're gonna go here and we're gonna set a variable. So this way, if we ever wanna change our CTA, all we have to do is change whatever the variable is in here, and then that is going to propagate across all of our social media. So right now what I'm doing is I'm promoting my Service Pro roadmap at the time of making this. So what I have is my variable here is gonna be, send me a DM with the word SPR to grab my roadmap 100% free. If you're not sure what you're promoting, just say like and follow for more, or you can say, go to the link in bio. Whatever it is that you are promoting, whatever you want people to do after they consume your post, just type it right here. We're gonna leave this SPR right now here. So we're gonna go ahead and hit save. With that, we've done now, again, we've set our CTA on all of our posts. However, what we're setting here is this is going to be the user prompt in our OpenAI modules later on in the automation. Again, it will not make sense right now. It will make sense in about 5 minutes. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna call this variable name user prompt. And now what we're going to do here is our variable value is going to be transcript. And then we're going to use the text, which is basically the transcript that we've just created. And then we're going to start a new line here, and it's going to be CTA. And then we're going to use the CTA from here over here. And what this is going to do, this is going to tell OpenAI to create a post based on this transcript and then use this CTA at the end. Again, doesn't necessarily make sense right now. It will very, very soon. Now what we want to do is we want to start creating all of those different unique pieces of content using OpenAI. Because what we've done is we've already grabbed the video, filed the video, transcribed the video. Now what we want to do is have OpenAI create all that unique text content for us to put elsewhere. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a fake tweet that we're going to put on a picture. And for reference, this is what that picture is going to look like. It's going to be a picture of you in the back with kind of a fake tweet in the front. And what we're doing right now is we're actually writing the text inside the white box. That's what this prompt is going to do. So we're going to do, so inside of here, we're going to use an OpenAI module. You're going to use the OpenAI module a lot. So what we're going to do now, it's going to be generate a completion. Again, we're already connected here to OpenAI. Select the method, create a chat completion. Perfect. The model, I'm going to use GPT-4o latest. So what this will do is it's going to use the latest GPT-4 model. It's relatively inexpensive. And what we're going to do now is we actually have to add messages to tell it what to do. Now, since ChatGPT's API does not have memory, we have to use two messages to one, tune it up, tell it exactly how we want it to act. And then the second one is going to tell us what to actually do. So the first message here is going to be a system prompt. And what this is just telling chat, act like this. This is what you're gonna write. This is all the rules that you're gonna use for this particular instance. And we have to do that every single time with the API platform. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna copy and paste my prompt in here. Again, I put everything down here in the description for you to just download so you can have all of these prompts. But basically the way that this prompt is going to be structured is going to be the same across all platforms. So now what I'm doing here is I'm telling it you're a writing assistant trained to repurpose Dom's TikTok videos into compelling written content for Facebook and Twitter. My content style is everything here. For Facebook, you want to write in paragraph form like a casual but insightful text post. We're using here for Twitter X, short, punchy, opinion-driven, no fluff, use strong hooks. This is basically just telling chat how that writes. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add another message. Now the role is going to be user. The next content, again, I'm going to copy and paste here what we're doing, but I'm going to show you now. Basically, we're training chat in this one. Now we're telling chat, hey, I want you to reply based on the role I just gave you in the system prompt. So here's a transcription from me. Now what I have to do is I have to map the variable here. If it's black, it can't find anything. So we want to go is we'll find the text from the transcription. So now it's going to work the transcription from here. Based on this, generate a short, pithy Twitter post or a short thread, and then follow the rules in your system prompt and make sure it sounds natural and human. From there, we're going to come down here. That's everything there is done. Leave everything here, max completion tokens at 2048. After you've done that, leave everything here at the default and go ahead and just hit save. What that is, that's now writing the fake tweet. If you want, you can go ahead and rename this. Write a fake tweet. Okay, cool. Next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to write the description that is over here. And you'll notice how it has the CTA down here at the bottom. Coming back into here, we're gonna add another module, which is gonna be OpenAI, create a completion. Then it's gonna go ahead, it's gonna be the same thing, 4o latest, we're gonna leave that one there. And then we have to have the same pair of prompts. It's gonna be a system prompt and a user prompt. I'm gonna copy the one that I have in here, it'll go system. Now again, you're gonna say, it's basically telling it it's an Instagram copywriter. This is the tone, this is the target audience, caption format. Again, I'll give you a template down below. Now this is where the variable that we set before comes into play. It says use the insert the CTA provided via CTA. So come out of there, and then we wanna use CTA over here. It basically is gonna take the variable that we set here and insert it. Hashtags, use the 15 to 20 mid-range hashtags. Do not summarize, don't use asterisks, right? Everything there is good. Now on the next message, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use a user prompt. And then for text content, what we're just gonna do is we're gonna use the variable here of user prompt. So what we just did was we gave it the user prompt and it says, create a post based on a link, the transcript that we give you, which we're telling it in here. So essentially what we're doing is this user prompt is we're telling chat, here's the transcript, here's the CTA, write a post. And we don't necessarily have to change this user prompt because we're gonna use this user prompt throughout the entire automation. So if you ever wanna change that, we only have to change this in one spot. We don't have to go and change 17 different prompts. That's why we're using a variable here for the user prompt. Go ahead, hit save. Now what this is gonna do is gonna be a fake tweet. It's gonna be an OpenAI. Now what we wanna do is take the output here and store it in Airtable. Go ahead and add an Airtable module, and we're going to create a record. Now what we're going to do is we have not created our social text, kind of the output text table yet. So let's head over to Airtable and let's go create that. All right, now we're here inside of Airtable. We're gonna add another table. We're gonna start from scratch and we're gonna call this one social text. What this is gonna do is this is going to have house all of the outputs from this completion, all the content pieces, so to speak. I'm gonna go here, delete field. Start by clearing the decks, so to speak. Come over to here, have name, edit the field. We're gonna start here with social ID and an auto number. This is gonna give every post a unique ID that we can go ahead and reference later. Then what we're going to do is we're gonna put into here, we're gonna call this one here a long text. And this is gonna be description. So this is gonna be all of the descriptions on all of the posts, not necessarily the content. So we're gonna call this one here, post description long text. That's gonna be in there. Next thing that we're going to do, call this one tweet carousel content. What this is gonna be where we're gonna store the white box inside the tweet carousel content column, and we're gonna store the description inside the description column. That's what's ultimately going to go there. Next thing we wanna do is we wanna actually track this by platform and post type. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to add a column here to track this by platform and then post type. So first one's gonna be platform. We're gonna use a single select, and we're gonna call this one here platform. And then what we're going to do is we're gonna add all of the options to what posts what platforms we're gonna be repurposing for. For this particular video, we're gonna be making Facebook content, Instagram content, we're gonna be making YouTube content, we're gonna be making LinkedIn content, and we're also gonna be making Blue Sky content. And once we've added Blue Sky, we're here and we're done. If you wanna add other platforms, by all means, be my guest. I'm building this so that you can add any platforms that you wish. So from the platform, and now we're gonna put text type. This one here is going to be another single select. It's gonna be text type so that we know whether this is going to be an image post, a carousel post, a long video, a short video. We're gonna go from there. So text type. Now for the text type that we are creating, the post type is going to be an IG image. We could create an IG carousel. We can create a Facebook short text, Facebook long text. We can do a Facebook image. We can do a Facebook short text, Facebook long text. Then we're gonna go on a LinkedIn long text. We can do a LinkedIn video. We've got a YouTube short. We have an Instagram reel. And then we've got the 3 blue skies. We've got Blue Sky image. We've got Blue Sky video. And then we've got Blue Sky text. These are all the different types of posts that we're going to be creating here. When that's done, we're gonna go ahead and hit create field. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna link all of this output text with its original transcription. So if we see something that's kind of funky and we're like, where did that come from? We're gonna be able to link it back with an original video. So over here, we're gonna link another record, which is going to be a number. It's gonna be a number post, and then this one here is gonna be called source transcription ID. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have a date created. Created time. Again, same thing. I like to display the time zone. Now we want to have the status, whether this post has been published or not. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to use another single select. We're going to call it status. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have not published or published. Create that field. Now, if you want, you can change the colors. I like not published as red and published as green. Really easy for there. So now we got published or not published. Now, for when we start getting into Reels, we want to create a Dropbox video link. Deal with Dropbox in a bit. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna put a long text, because it's a very long link. We're gonna call this one Dropbox link, create that field. And then we also wanna grab the other Google's file share ID. So we're gonna go into single line text, Google file ID, create that field. We also wanna grab the Dropbox file ID. So we'll come over to here. We're gonna go another single line text, Dropbox file ID. And then we also want to find out when this was posted. So we're going to come into here and we're going to go it's going to be a last modified time type field. And this last modified time, we're going to say date published. Now we're going to have a specific field. What we want to do is we want to know when the status here was updated. So when the status has gone from not published to published, it's going to keep track of that. So we'll know exactly where on the social media profile this particular post is. We can go and search by date. So now what we're going to do is this is going to track when the status was last modified, create the field. Now, I should have probably put this one, if we click and we drag it, I want to drag this one actually right next to the status. So we have the status and then we have the date published. And then we have all the links and all the IDs here on the end. With that done, we now have our second table inside of our database. Our Airtable database is now complete. We just have to map all of the fields to create all of these records. Coming back into here, scenario, we have our base is going to be demo. And now we don't necessarily see this table. Well, we do see the table, table 2, which should be renamed social text. Go ahead, hit save. Now we come over here, table, it doesn't see it. We're gonna hit the refresh button, show you how this works. Now it says social text over there. Now we have all of this content. Now, when it comes here for post description, this is why you should get in the habit of renaming your modules, because I don't know which one this is once we get down here. So we're gonna go and we're gonna use this. We're gonna rename this. This is going to be write IG image description. Okay. So now we come over to here in the Airtable, we hit settings, we'll go into base, social machine, table, social text. Now when it comes here to post description, you'll see write IG image description. We're gonna use the result from there. And now for the tweet carousel content, we're gonna use the fake tweet, use the result from the fake tweet that got generated. Platform. Since this is going to be an Instagram, we're not mapping this, we're just selecting it from the dropdown. So turn off the map, and now we're gonna have this is gonna be Instagram. Text type is going to be an IG image. Now for the source transcription ID, we're gonna come over to the other Airtable where we created the record for the transcription. We're gonna grab the transcription ID. Now for the status, again, since it's drop down, we don't have to map it. Status is gonna be not published. Dropbox link we don't have yet. Google file ID. From before, just go and grab the file ID. Again, Dropbox we don't have yet. And then we go ahead and we hit save. Now what we're doing is we're gonna grab a record and it's gonna create the stuff and it's gonna create an Airtable record inside of Airtable. Now, once our Airtable record here is created, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Make.com's data store feature to avoid using Airtable's paid plan. Basically, how this is going to work is we're going to create a data store, which is basically like an Airtable inside of Make.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that to call up an Airtable record ID and a Google Drive file ID so we can create posts later, because you can't schedule random posts in Make natively. So we're using data store to kind of work around the capability. Again, it's going to make more sense later on in the video. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and add another module, and it's going to be data store. You'll see data store over here, and it's going to be create a record. We're going to use add or replace a record. Now, normally what you would do is you would go ahead and you would add a data store, basically create a data store, but on my plan of Make.com, the bottom plan, you only get one data store database. So let me kind of show you how to edit mine, but you would basically be creating the same one. So you would hit add. So what you would do is you would come over to data stores over here inside Make.com. So what's going to happen is you're going to click add data store, and it's going to pop up a modal to create a new data store kind of structure. I'm going to show you how mine was created to kind of walk you through that screen. So what we're going to do here is you have to create your data structure. So your data structure is going to look something like this. I'm going to create a new one here as a demo. So we have our data structure. You're going to have your specification. Your first item is going to be called your Airtable record ID. And we're going to use this to link this record inside of Make with the record inside of Airtable. Airtable record ID, leave it blank. Type is going to be text. Default value will be blank. And then required, yes. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a second item here, which is going to be Google Drive file ID. Description blank, text type is text, blank, and then required is yes. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit save. What that's gonna do is that's gonna create a new data structure. Then your data storage size in megabytes, the maximum on Make can have at this plan is 10 megabytes, so I'm gonna put 10, I just maxed it out, so I'm not gonna run out of any kind of room. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit save. Now what you've got, if you go and browse, you'll see that you've got the key is going to be generated unique for every record, and then every key is gonna have an Airtable record and a Google Drive file ID, which we're gonna create in this next module. So again, create a data store. Your data structure is gonna have two items on it, an Airtable record ID and a Google Drive file ID. So what you're gonna go into here is data store. You're gonna go to key is gonna be blank. If you leave that blank, it's gonna create a new key. Next thing we're gonna do is overwrite existing record. No, we don't wanna overwrite anything that's existing record. Now what we wanna do is we wanna create the Airtable record ID in this store. Airtable record ID is just right in here, which is Airtable. You see ID right here, use that. And then Google Drive file ID, same thing, come down to Google Drive, grab the file ID, hit save. Now what we've done is we're linking this Airtable record to Make.com. And now at this point, we can go and we can create this all at once. I'll show you how it works. If we've done this all right, we hit the run once button, and you'll see that it grabbed the video. It's downloading the video now. When that video is downloaded, it's now creating the cloud convert file. Right now it's converting from video to audio. Now that it's downloaded, OpenAI is transcribing the file. Now it's creating an Airtable record. We've set our variables, and now we're creating the tweet, writing the description. Description might take a little while, creating that record, and then creating the data store. So when that's all done, if we go over now to our Airtable, we will see on the transcription side, you'll see the transcription ID. It created a new record. Here's the entire transcription of that video. So this is the one where I was talking about basically creating this exact system. So That's over there. It has the original link to the Google Drive link. The Google Drive web content link, the file ID is all right there. And if we come over to social text, we now have, this is gonna be the post description with all the hashtags, everything here generated for Instagram. We've got our entire post description down here. This is what's going to be inside inside that little white box in that fake tweet. So the fake tweet is written, the description's written, it's gonna go on Instagram, it's gonna be an image post. And now we've got the source description of 4. So if you come over here 4, if you go to transcription ID, there's 4 here. We just have to kind of edit this here so that it doesn't have that decimal point. We're in decimal places at 0. So now it just says 4. It was created at 11:33 a.m. It is not published. It was not published. And then we have our Google file ID. So that is how that's going to work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to recreate this 3-step, the description, the Airtable, and the data store for pretty much all of those platforms. So what we're going to do now is on the bottom, you can add these all on a line. I like to add these modules here in rows because it's easier for me to kind of figure this out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here, add a module, add an OpenAI module. At this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a completion. We're gonna come down here and we're gonna connect this kind of diagonally, make sure that that there is connected. And then inside here, we're going to first rename this. And this is gonna be, right, Facebook long form post. Okay. Now the model is gonna be 04 latest. Now we have our system and our user messages. So the first message here is going to be system. For our text content, I'm going to copy what I have here. So now we have, again, personal brand copywriter for Facebook long form posts. It gives my tone, it gives your job, what we want to create. And now again, we just want to map our CTA in here. Since it's black, we have to come in and go to CTA so it's purple. Hashtags are optional if included here. Do not mention, again, this is tuning up chat to write in the style that I tell it. Next thing we're going to do then is add another message here, which is our user prompt. And then our content is going to be the variable user prompt that we created before. User prompt there, leave everything the same, hit save. Then what we want to do is we want to create a record here in Airtable. In our base, our social machine, in our social text table. Now what we want to do is we want to take the description that this one here was created, right at Facebook form long post is going to be the result. And now for tweet carousel content, I like to add the picture with the fake tweet along with the long form text. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the fake tweet to go in the picture and we're gonna go and use the fake tweet. Where is that? Fake tweet result. That's gonna go in there. Now for platform, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna map that, nor are we gonna map the text type. Platform is going to be Facebook. Text type is going to be Facebook long text. Source transcription ID, we're gonna come back to our record all the way here in the beginning on the bottom, which is gonna be transcription ID. Status is going to be unmapped and make sure that is not published. Dropbox links, don't need that yet. Google File ID, come down into here, Google File ID, grab and map that. And now when that's all done, we're gonna go ahead and hit save. Now we're gonna add another module, we're gonna do data store. We're gonna add or replace a record, use the data store, key, leave that blank, do not overwrite, and then we're gonna use the Airtable record ID. Make sure now at this point, because you've got multiples of these, make sure you're taking note of the number down here, right? This is module number 14. What we want to do is we're going to grab Airtable record ID from number 14. If we come down here and we grab number 11, we're going to make the post with the wrong content. So make sure take note of that number. So grab the ID from number 14 and then file ID. Since we're all using the same one, it's module 2. File ID is there. Now we know the original video. Go ahead and hit save. So now we're going to repeat this process for all of the other platforms. Now to save some time here, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to copy, I'm going to right click on the module and go ahead and clone the module, bring the module down here. I'm gonna clone the 3 of these. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna clone and then we're going to change some of them. So we don't have to manually search for each module. And again, just make sure that we connect it here. So now for the long form post, we're gonna put our new prompt in here for our long form post. And again, I'm gonna give you something you can copy and paste. So all of these are here. Now for the next bit here, what we're going to do is we're gonna do Instagram reel description. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna rename this one here. Write IG reel description, which is going to be over through there. But now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to change the prompt so that we don't write a Facebook long form post in our IG reel description. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, take my prompt here, copy it from my notes, and you'll notice here how this one now the text content says you're a personal brand copywriter for Facebook long form posts. When I copy mine in, now it is you are an expert Instagram copywriter for me. Your job is to turn short form video transcripts into high performing captions. And then it gives the framework. Again, make sure we map the CTA here correctly. Come down into here, which is the CTA for number 7. That's correct there. And now in the message 2 in the user, we can leave this one mapped the exact same way because we've already mapped that variable in another step. So all we have to do is clone the module and then change the system prompt, and that will completely change the output. Hit save. Now Airtable, creating the record, we also now have to change what we're mapping. So we got the post description. This is now mapping number 13. We don't want 13, we want 17. So come over there, delete that. Now it's number 17. result. The tweet and the carousel content, we don't actually have an image, a carousel or a fake tweet on this image. So what I do is I actually delete that one there because it's a reel. There's actually no text content on it. We're gonna pull the video from Google Drive later. So platform is not Facebook. This platform is Instagram, and this is going to be a Instagram reel. Transcription ID, since it's still based on the same original source video, we're gonna leave this one here. Not published, and it's the same Google file ID, which is fine there. Save. Now for data store, again, we wanna change our Airtable record ID because we don't wanna link it to this record, we wanna link it to this record. So we go ahead, we grab that, change that one over there, number 18, hit ID, and we go ahead and we hit save. So now we're mapped on everything. And now for pretty much every other type of post, it's gonna be the same, clone the module and then change it, except for the carousels. Let me show you. If you're unfamiliar with the carousel, it is this. We're gonna create these slideshows here for Instagram, and we're creating the text that is inside these carousels. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back into Make. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna clone the modules through here, but we're gonna clone this other module twice. So from here, we're gonna link this over here, and then we're gonna bring a big diagonal down here to kind of make the next row. So what we're gonna do, first thing we're gonna do is rename this. We wanna go write IG carousel slides. Write the slides, then we wanna write the IG carousel description. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna open here, hit settings. There's a first prompt in here, which again, I'm gonna copy and paste out the prompt. And from here, copy and paste the prompt, and we want to go ahead and map the CTA to number 7. And down here, we've got number 7 CTA. And this prompt now, again, is a little bit different. It's you're an expert Instagram content strategist for me, right? For Bavaro, your job is to turn short form video transcripts into a high performing 6-slide Instagram carousels. And then again, it's giving the audience, the voice, the slide purpose, the takeaway, right? It's basically telling it how to write that. The user prompt, we can use the same variable, and we go ahead and we hit save. And now for the carousel description, again, that system prompt is different. The user prompt is gonna be exactly the same, so there's no need to change anything down here. All we have to do is copy and paste the slide here and then remap the CTA. Come all the way down here, remap the CTA, and then just have you are an expert Instagram copywriter for Dom. Your job is to write high converting captions to support 6-slide carousels aimed at beginner creators. Here's the goal, here's the tone, here's the format, all the different rules. Go ahead and hit save. Now what we wanna do is we wanna map the Airtable records correctly. So in here, we've got our description result. We're not number 17, because number 17 is up here. We're looking for number 20 and 23. So post description is gonna be there's the slides, there's the description. Make sure you map these correctly or it's not gonna look right. The description goes to description, hit the result. Content over here, result for the slides. Now your platform is Instagram and it's going to be a carousel post. Same transcription, same status, same source file ID. Hit save. Now data store, we just have to go ahead and change the one here to number 21 from 18. Go here to 21, the ID, hit save. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna save this. Now for the sake of making this video just a little bit shorter, I'm gonna cut the recording here, do this for the rest of them, and then come back when they're completed and I'll walk you through it. All right, so now that we're back, what I've done is again, I've copied all of the modules and then tuned them up. Basically, I created the short video description here for LinkedIn, using my prompt here for LinkedIn. I've got my Facebook short text post, my LinkedIn long text post. I've got my blue sky image and my blue sky video posts. And then what I did was I just made sure again on the Airtables to change the post description to reference the module right before it, and also make sure that the platform is correct. And then the data store just to reference the Airtable right before it. All these prompts I will have you free to download down in the description. At this point, this first automation here is done. Now, make sure you go ahead and you hit save when you're done here because you don't want to lose all of this work. And one thing I do like to do it here in rows because it's easier for me to go ahead and handle and to kind of see the order of how things are created. If you hit this auto align, it will make this whole thing one big long line, and then that is almost impossible to manage. So do not hit the auto align. I did, too late. That's what I had to do to make this video. Now we can go ahead, we can save this. And what I want to do is I want to run this particular automation every morning at 6 a.m. Because what's happening right now, if you remember from the repurpose automation, it's taking my TikTok posts and dumping them into Google Drive in real time. It's going to go ahead and it's going to clean up the Google Drive posts and put them into, it's going to transcribe them and create all of this content, create all of these records. Let's run it once now and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. But just remember, I've got my settings here. For the sake of this video, I'm only doing it limit of 1. You want to change this here to 5, so it's going to grab 5 posts every single day. If you're posting 5 times a day, this will keep up in real time. If you're posting 2 times a day, this is going to eventually catch up. to whatever you have. So we're gonna leave this one here at 1. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna run this automation. We've got our drive, it's gonna download the file. Now what's gonna happen here, it's gonna transcribe that file through there. And what I'm gonna do is when it gets to start writing all of these descriptions and updating in Airtable, I'm gonna actually flip over to Airtable and we'll watch them get created in real time. So again, we're having over here, it's converting to an audio file. Now it's creating over here, creating the transcription. And then once it hits Airtable, now watch, we're gonna go over here into the social and these are gonna just start appearing. All the things that it's creating. There's the Instagram image, there's the Facebook long text post, there's the Instagram reel description, there's your carousel slides, as you can see here with the slides. You've got all of the different slides that are over through here on different lines. What happens is here's your fake tweet, that fake tweet that comes into here. And as you'll see, as it comes in, we're trying to do this in real time, as it is creating all of this content, all of these records, they're all coming over here and they're all getting created inside of Airtable. This is all happening here in real time. It's creating and it's sorting it all by platform when this is done. So what's happened now is that one video that you created in Google Drive has created all of this unique content based on the transcript of that video. When this is done, the second half of the machine is to grab one of these and then start creating live social posts from them. All right, and now comes time to create the second half of this social media machine, where we're gonna create and basically grab a record and then start creating the posts. And what that's gonna look like when we're done is gonna look something like this. So what's gonna happen now, it's gonna go ahead, it's gonna grab a record, a random record, pull up the Airtable, and then depending upon what data is in the Airtable, it's gonna send it to one of these 4 platforms. We're gonna build this now. So starting here, we're gonna start here with the data store module. In the data store, we're gonna search our records. So we're using the record, and we wanna search our data store that we created. Now we just wanna see that the Airtable record exists. And again, it's always going to exist because we created it as a required field. So once it exists, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna show our advanced settings, and the limit, we're gonna pull up 25 records at a time, or 25 or less. So like we've just created about 10 records, it's gonna pull up all 10 records. Then what we're gonna do is we're actually going to select a one at random so that it posts on our social media and not on a specific schedule. We're gonna call up 25 of these records, we're gonna hit save. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take these records, we're gonna put them here into an array, so we can select one at random. In the array aggregator module, we're gonna grab the bundle order position, the key, and the record. Now we're gonna go ahead where it's saved. So what we basically just done now is we pulled out all the records and we're gonna create them all kind of in a single field. So if we go ahead and we hit the run once, we're gonna run anyway. You'll see here, it pulled up all 20-ish records that we have in here. And now we've got the array, which basically just has all the input, and the output is essentially putting it here into a nice little line here of records. We've got the key, we've got the record itself, which is the Airtable record ID, and we've also got the bundle order position. All of that for our next couple steps, which is going to be selecting a random record. To do this, we are going to use the set variable module, set variable, and this variable name is going to be called random bundle number. And what we're doing is we want to grab the array that we just grabbed, we're going to take one here at random. Now, when it comes to setting this random bundle number, setting this variable is going to be a little bit involved. So we're gonna go over to here to the math functions, this little X with the 1 superscript. We're gonna use floor, and then inside those parentheses, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put a random, which is basically grabbing a number random between 0 and 1, a random integer. And then we're gonna come into here, the array length, which is here. So 25. Now it's going to be a random times 25, so it might be like 0.5 times 25, which would give us 12 and a half, but we have to work in whole numbers. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to math, we're gonna hit plus, and then we're gonna go 1. Just in case the number here is so low that it gives us a number less than 1, this is gonna make sure that we, at the very least, we grab at least bundle number 1. It's kind of convoluted. This is what it is. This is how you do. This is how it's gonna grab a random bundle number, so safe. Now again, if we go ahead and we run this, remember, we're taking 25 bundles, we're putting them in an array, and now what happens is the input is the big bundle here, right? So here's the output. It's all these bundles, and what's happening now is all that, it's grabbing bundle number 1. If we run it again, we come over to here, our bundle number now is 23. If we run it another time, we have our bundle number here is 12. So what's happening is it's grabbing a random bundle inside here. So bundle 12 is this record, bundle 1 is this record, and then bundle 23 is the other record over here. So what's happening, it's grabbing different posts every single time. That's how that works. So what's happening there is we're grabbing a random bundle. Next thing that we want to do is we want to do a set variable again, but now what we want to do is we want to extract the Airtable record ID from that bundle. So now we're going to go, I'm going to call it random. Now we're going to use into here the array itself. And to set this, this is what that variable is going to look like. So we're going to open this up. You see the array that's in here. What you want to do is hit the down arrow into the record itself, and now grab the Airtable record ID. So what's happening now is you're grabbing the Airtable record ID, and you've got this little split here. And now it's asking you which position in the array that you want to grab, at which point we're going to grab the random bundle number, which is 12. So what we're doing now is we're telling Make to grab number 12 in this array based on the Airtable record ID. So again, let me do this one more time. Variable value, this is going to be all collapsed, right? Click on variable value, you'll see the star up here. Click on the array caret, click on the record caret, and then click on Airtable record ID. That'll give you this break here. Come into here, so have the cursor between the two, and then grab random bundle number. Hit save. That's that one there. Now we also want to use the other set variable. Now we want to grab the Airtable record ID. Set variable, random record key. Now the same thing we're going to do here. We're going to come down here into the array, except we're going to grab the key this time. Array key. And again, move the cursor in the middle, and now we want to use the random bundle number. So what we're doing is we're grabbing the Airtable record ID and we're grabbing the key to that particular record. Hit save. Now that we have those two pieces of information, we want to go ahead and we want to call up the Airtable record from the previous automation. There's an Airtable module. We're going to go ahead and get a record. Record ID. We come into here, we hit random record. Now what we've done is we've grabbed the random record ID. Now we have an Airtable record. So watch, if we run this whole variable here, what happens now, we've grabbed bundle number 2 in the array, which is that random record, which is also that random record's key. And now what you'll see here is the input is that record ID, the base, the table. And now we've gotten the Instagram, we've got the reel description, we've got all the Dropbox video share links, we've got everything that is in here. We've got a record here from Airtable. And the way that I do that is that I actually sort it twice. I sort it once by platform and then once by post type. So how to do that? We're gonna put a router. We use a router module. Now the router module works here in Make, and it's gonna try the first condition. If that works, great. If it doesn't, it's gonna try the second condition. Then if there's a third or a fourth, it's gonna keep trying these conditions until it passes through the router. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to create 4 routes on here. Add a route, and you'll see that we have 4 routes. First one here, we're going to set a filter up here. Label here is going to be Instagram. Now the condition, and we're going to look here for the platform on the record, is equal to, I just like to say contains. Contains case insensitive, so I can type and I don't have to have the capitals always right. So operators contains Instagram, save. So now only if the record is for an Instagram post will it pass here. If this were a Facebook post, it would not pass and it would try to go through the second one. At which point, we're going to add our filter over here. We'll make this one here. Facebook is the label, condition, platform is equal to, or sorry, contains case insensitive. Facebook, come over to there. Next one here is going to be LinkedIn. Set up a filter. Label is going to be LinkedIn. Condition is going to be the platform. Contains case insensitive, you guessed it, LinkedIn. Save. Then we're also going to have set up a filter here for blue sky. And we're going to have condition, platform, case insensitive, contains. Actually, this one here I think is, yeah, blue sky. Blue sky there. Then we can also create another one here if we're doing YouTube. Come over to here and we can go set up a filter. YouTube, condition, platform, contains case insensitive, YouTube, save. Now, if this starts looking a little bit messy, what you can do is you can hit the auto align and it's gonna align everything and make it nice. Now we've got our 5 platforms. What's gonna happen now is on Instagram, we have a couple of different Instagram posts. So at the end of this router, we're gonna add another router. And now we're gonna sort by the type of Instagram post that it is. And to kind of show you how that's working, so if you have Instagram, this is our first router, is sorting by the platform. The second router is sorting by the text type. So the IG image, IG reel, IG carousel are all gonna flow down different branches. So we're gonna create this one here, right? Set up a filter, which is going to be IG image post, condition. Now we're gonna look at text type, is going to be contains case insensitive, image, save. Second filter, come over to here. I'm gonna go reel posts, IG reels, condition, text type, contains, reel. Now we've also got carousel, so we're gonna add a route here. And we're gonna come over to here, set up this filter here, which is going to be carousel posts. Condition is gonna be text type. Operators equal to, it's gonna be contains, case insensitive, carousel, save. Now those are our 3 types of Instagram posts. We have on Facebook, we're going to have long text and then short text, if I remember right. Long text and short text. So now for Facebook, we're gonna go over to here, we're add a router. For Facebook, we're gonna come over to here, create this one, here we go. We're gonna have to go long text, which is gonna be condition text type equals or contains case insensitive. I'm gonna put long, make sure that that's the right one there. Yeah, long text. And then we're going to go short text, okay. Now we're gonna set up another filter here, set up a filter, short text, condition, text type, you guessed it. Now we're gonna come into here, contains case insensitive, and we're gonna go short, save. Now, as you can see, these kind of filters, all these routers are getting messy on top of each other. We hit the auto align, it's gonna space them all out. Now we're gonna do the same thing for LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and YouTube. So I'm gonna cut the recording here and just kind of do the same thing with that text type. It's very repetitive, but we only have to do it once. All right, so now that I've added all of my routers, what we do is we actually now have 2 layers of filtering. So it's gonna hit this router, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, or YouTube. And then once it picks the platform, on Instagram, we can have an image post, a reel post, or a carousel post based on the filter. And then we're gonna have on Facebook, it could be either a long or a short text. On LinkedIn, it could be a video post or a text post. On Blue Sky, it could be a video, an image, or a text post. And then on YouTube, it's pretty much just gonna be a short. So those are all of our different nodes here. Let's start kind of building these out one at a time. Since the record that we grabbed here is going to be an Instagram reel, we're gonna build an Instagram reel first. We're gonna grab our Instagram Reels branch here. We're gonna start this one here by starting with a Google Drive. What we wanna do is we're gonna have to grab the file from Google Drive. We're gonna have to add it to Dropbox because the Instagram module in Make can't post from Google. It has to post from Dropbox. So we're gonna do a little bit of a roundabout workaround here. So we've got Google Drive, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna download a file. Now it's asking for the file ID. That's why we put the Google file ID in the record from Airtable. So if you have the Airtable record, we have our Google Drive file ID. It's gonna put it there. It's gonna go ahead. It's just gonna download that file. Next thing we're gonna do here is we're going to add Dropbox. Now I'm on the free plan of Dropbox. That is plenty because we're only borrowing the storage when we're actually making the post. So we're gonna upload the file to our Dropbox, and at the end, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna delete it. So the free plan is fine. Get yourself a free Dropbox plan and hook it up to Make. Again, it's as simple as just kind of logging in and everything will authenticate. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna upload a file. Now the folder, I just have the regular root folder, which is there, fine. We're gonna upload the file we just downloaded from Google, hit save. Now we're gonna create a share link. Go to Dropbox. We're gonna create and update a share link. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the specific file itself. We're gonna select the file. Now when it comes down here to the file, we're gonna click over here to map it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the file folder ID from the file that we just uploaded. So what we've done is we've grabbed the file, and now we need to set the link's access level, which I set to max access. Do not require a password. And then yes, allow a download so that we can go ahead and we can post this over on Instagram. When that's done, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit save. Once we have that, we can now post on Instagram. Now, your Instagram needs to be a business account. If you have a personal account or a creator account on Instagram, this is not gonna work. Go watch a video. I'll probably link one right up here, how to change your Instagram to a business account. So again, Instagram for business over there. You're gonna have to log in using your Facebook, and you're also gonna have to have your Instagram linked to your Facebook in the account center. Again, I'll put a video up in the description showing you how to do that, but make sure that works. So now you have to log in with Facebook to find your Instagram account. Now, what we're gonna do here is we're going to create a reel post. We're gonna create the right page that we have. I'm gonna post to my page. Now for the video URL, we're gonna use the download URL from Dropbox. Coming down into there, now the caption, we've already written the caption with OpenAI, but now we have to just call that up from Airtable. So come down here into the Airtable, and you're gonna see description. The caption is going to be the description. The cover frame, I just wanna have kind of the first frame when I film my videos. I'll sometimes put a headline on there. That's what I want people to see on Instagram. So I put 0.1, which will take the frame at 0.1 seconds in the video. And that's what people are gonna see on my Instagram profile. And for reference, this is what we're talking about. So this is actually the frame that is 0.1. So you'll see that I have this little headline here. When I create my videos, that's what that 0.1 is grabbing. The 0.1 is grabbing the frame at 0.1, so this is going to show up here. That's why we want to go ahead and we want to grab that. And share to feed is just that it shows up in Reels, but they also show up here in posts. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit save. Now what we want to do to save space in our data store, and so that it doesn't get called up again, I want to delete this data store record that we called up over here. And then all of these post branches are going to end this way. So we're going to go add another module, use the data store, but now what we want to do is we want to delete a record. And the record key is going to be, if we come all the way down here, if you remember, we grabbed that random record key, we're going to just map it right there. So whatever record we called up in the beginning, this is the one that we are going to delete. We have to choose the data store first. So choose the data store, put the record key, hit save. Now what I also want to do is on this Airtable base, I want to update it here so that it says published. We want to go from published, not published, to published. So inside of Make, we want to come over here, add an Airtable module, update a record. We want to select the short form machine. So now what we're going to do is we have to actually update that record. So we have the record ID, and we're going to go into here is pull up from Dropbox or from Airtable. We have that record ID here from number 6. Put that record ID in there. And all we have to do, we can leave this all here blank except the status. We want to change the status here to published. And when that's done, we go ahead, we hit save. Now to save space, we also want to delete the file we just upload here to Dropbox. So we go, we add the Dropbox module, come over here to delete a file and folder, and we're going to find the specific file. We are going to map this right to the ID, file folder ID. Now we hit save, basically we're telling Dropbox delete that file based on the ID. Then we're going to go ahead and hit save. And what that does is that actually creates a reel. So now that we have the reel leg complete, let's kind of fill these out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the simplest ones. We're going to knock those out, and then we're going to finish with some of the more complex legs here. Now, one of the short ones that we're going to do here, one of the simple ones, and probably the simplest one here, is going to be our Facebook short text. So we got to find our Facebook filter, come into short text. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a Facebook pages. Now, if you've done your Instagram by logging into your Facebook, this should already have to be integrated. But if not, you're just going to have to integrate your Facebook again. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a post, not to create a post with photos, just to create a post. You're going to go ahead, select your connection, select your page, come down to here, select your page. And now for the message, we're just going to go ahead over here and hit description. This is going to be the post itself on the short video. Now this description is just going to be, it's going to pull on Facebook short text. If we come over here, if we go to Facebook short text, it's going to grab this one right here. Your side hustle won't save you. It's a bridge, not a destination. A short little pithy text. That's all it's going to be, and there's no link on this particular post. Save. That's all there is to a Facebook short text. Now we just have to go ahead and take that data store, and we're just going to delete that record and then update the Airtable. Now, when it comes to the data stores, since they're all going to be the same and they're all based on a variable, all we have to do is clone the data store, bring it down here, because you'll see it's just pulling from the random record key over here. So all you have to do is clone it and connect it, and you're good. Same thing with the Airtable module. All we have to do is right click, hit clone, bring it down, and then just connect it over here and we're good. Reason being is that it's already updating based on the ID from here, and it's already going to update it here for published. So that leg is done. Next thing I want to do here is going to be LinkedIn text post. It's going to be similar. It's basically going to be over here, create a module, LinkedIn. You're going to have to connect your LinkedIn account. This one here is going to be create a user text post. You're going to have to add and connect your LinkedIn. Then the content is just going to be here from the description, which is going to pull over on LinkedIn long text. It's going to be pulling this big, long 6-paragraph thing. So that's over there. So we got LinkedIn long text. So we've got our description. Now for our visibility is going to be public, put it on our main feed, and then reshare disabled is no. So what's going to happen now is people are going to be able to reshare this post if it's super insightful. That's all really there is to that. We're going to hit save. And then all we have to do now is just delete the data store and then update the record. So again, we can do the same thing here. We're going to clone, bring that down there, clone that, bring that down there. So now what's going to happen when we pull up a LinkedIn post, it's going to write the post and then delete the record and update the Airtable. Done. The Blue Sky is also similar. So we got Blue Sky, we've got text. Come into here. We're going to integrate the Blue Sky module, and we are going to create a post. The text is going to be the same description field here, and then going to hit save. There's nothing else to do. Then we just have to update the data store here so we can clone, drag that one down, and then same thing with the Airtable, clone, and then drag that down. Blue Sky text is done. Now what I want to do is I want to do some of our video posts, right? The images are going to be the most complex to do, but I want to knock out the Blue Sky video. So same thing what we're going to do now. For Blue Sky videos, we have to call up that video into this make scenario. So we're going to do Google Drive and we're going to download a file. And for the file ID, we've already grabbed it here on our Airtable record. So we have Airtable Google Drive file ID. Hit save. Now we have the file record. Next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take that video and upload it to our Blue Sky account. Go to Blue Sky, come here into update record, or upload media rather. So it's going to upload the media. We're going to upload this Google Drive file. Hit save. Now what we're doing is we're uploading that into Blue Sky. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and create a post that is video. So now we're going to come into here, create a post. The text on the post is going to be our description. Again, this description over here from the Airtable record is there. Now media type is going to be video. The video width here is going to be 1080 by 1920. That's going to give us a vertical video. Now video type is going to be MP4. And now the video identifier, we're going to pull it from the upload that we just did. For identifier, we're going to come into here and it's going to be in this reference link. The $ link right there. That's what we're gonna do there for our video identifier. Save. That's now gonna create a video post on our Blue Sky profile. After we hit save, now we just have to delete that data store, clone that, bring that over, and do the same thing with Airtable. Now Blue Sky videos are done. For LinkedIn videos, it's a similar process. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a Google Drive, download a file. so that we can go and we can get the video, call up the video from our Google Drive. Come here to Google Drive File ID. Then we're gonna add a LinkedIn module here, which is create a user video post. Same thing, connect your LinkedIn. File that we're gonna use for the video is gonna be from the one that we just downloaded. Now the title is gonna be blank. The content is going to be the description that we have from our Airtable record ID description. Then we're gonna make this public, put it on our main feed and allow people to reshare. Hit save. Once that gets posted, we need to change the data store, so clone that, and then change the Airtable record, clone that, bring that in there. Now LinkedIn video is done. We just gotta make sure to save our make scenario now. Now, once all our video posts are done, now come the images. And the images, we're actually gonna introduce another piece of software called placid.app, which is gonna create those images with the fake tweets on them. It's also gonna create the carousel slides. Now, the idea behind this is that what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a template inside of Placid, and then the text becomes a variable. So as you can see here, I've got my Mosey style tweet here. If you edit this, the template that I've created, I have a picture, this white square, and then I've got my kind of fake tweet kind of looking here, and then I've got the text that is inside here. So you've got the base element, you've got my profile picture here, we've got my name, we've got the username, and then we've got the text. And you'll see that it's all the different layers that are on here. So that's essentially what we're going to do. So let's come back into here. For the carousel slides, we're gonna create, it looks just like a tweet. It's me, it's here, it's this, and then it's just that's there with the arrow. That's all that is. So what we're going to do, if we go back, so to create a template inside of Placid, you need a Placid account. Mine runs $19 a month. It gives me 500 posts a month. Plenty. So we come over here, we create a template. The size is going to be 1080 by 1350. That is the new Instagram size for images. It works on Facebook, it works on LinkedIn. So I'm only gonna use this picture once across everywhere. So 1080 by 1350, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hit create. So now I actually have my own, this kind of blank square is what's going to be. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna name this here, I'm gonna rename this, I'm gonna call it demo post so I can find it here in this video, but name it whatever it is that you want. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to add a picture layer. I'm gonna make this picture layer the entire size of this background. Now inside here, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna go base picture, and then we're also going to upload the image. So you have the default images here. Find an image of you. I used myself here on stage. I tried to use myself, this is kind of a wide image. I'm gonna use myself here on stage speaking, but try to find something that's kind of vertical. So we're gonna add that, and now what we're gonna do is we're just going to change the positioning on here as well. Position top, there it is, top. There, look, there on stage. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add a shape layer, which is going to be that fake tweet, which is right over here. Bring this all the way down. We have me, we've got the kind of box here that's gonna be in here. Now we're going to make this fill here of white. 6 Fs will make it white. We just want to make, that's gonna be through there. The border, I wanna make the border blue, so we click the border. We're gonna make this one here. I forget what the blue color is. We're just gonna pick one here, right there. It's gonna be style of 5 pixels solid. It gives us that little blue border there. Maybe we make it 10 pixels. Play with this here. And then we're going to make border radius. I think I made that 15. We're just gonna kind of give it these rounded edges here. So you see how there's little rounded edges over there? Perfect, now this is the back. Now what I wanna do is I wanna create my little tweet here at the beginning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another picture. We're gonna make this picture here. I think I put this, if memory serves, it was 150 by 150. And we're gonna lock the aspect ratio. So now it's a square. Upload default image. I have my profile picture. Add that. Now there's my default image. Now for the text layer, I'm gonna add myself here. It's gonna be over here on the right. Add myself, align it to the left over there. Now what I wanna do is I wanna make this text a little bit bigger. 45 if memory serves, and then for the font, I wanna use a bold font. Now I uploaded Helvetica New because that's the actual Twitter font. I uploaded a bold font, made it bold there, but you can just go ahead and find one here if you want to make a bold font. People don't necessarily notice the fonts. We're gonna go here, we're gonna make that one there bold. Now for my little verified check, we're gonna add another picture layer. Come down over to here, and I think if memory serves, this was 50 by 50 was there, and then add the file. I downloaded the check mark, little verified check, which is right there. Perfect. Now I wanna add my another text layer for my little username underneath here. That one there, and again, if memory serves right, this was, I think, 35. But you'll see what Placid does is it'll resize stuff, so it'll never go in. That's why I couldn't go to 35. So bring it down here, bring it a line left. Now what I wanna do is I wanna line these up exactly. Select the top one. You'll see position here of 332 on X. This one's 335, so if I go 332, watch this here as I hit the enter button, it'll move just slightly. Now they're perfectly aligned. So what I've got now is I've got my kind of fake tweet picture. We're gonna add another text layer. this is the one that's going to be variable. I want to give my margins right about there. I want things to be aligned left and aligned to the top. Now what I want to do is make the size, I think it's 25 is what the size is there. This is going to auto size based on the tweet that goes in there, but then make your font the Helvetica New, regular, or Montserrat, whatever font that you want to do in there. So now we've got our, actually I think it's light. So the light text was in there. Fine. We can go ahead, we can hit save here for now. But what I want to do is I want to name all of these layers so when we pull them up in Make, I actually know what I'm working in. So for new text layer 2, I'm going to go into here, I'm going to name that tweet content. The new text layer 1, which is what? That's this one. We're going to go username. Picture layer 1 is going to be tweet. We're going to go call that the verified tick. This is going to be our name. The next picture layer is going to be the profile picture through there. Shape layer is going to be tweet background, and then we've got our base picture. So what we've done here is we've created a template here that can go on social media here. It's us on stage, or it could be us posing with our arms crossed or whatever, just whatever you want, just have a vertical picture. Now what's gonna happen is this content, we're gonna fill this content every time and post it on social media. Go ahead, hit save. And again, you don't have to do yours in this style, you can create any template and any design that you want. So that's gonna be for our images. Coming over here into Make. Once we have that template created for image posts, we're going to go ahead here and we're going to create that image now with Placid. So there's a Placid module here inside of Make. We're going to go here, right, create image. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select the template. I have demo post right down here. We do not want it to be transparent. We want the base image to be what's in the template. We want everything to be blank except. Now what this should say is if we come down here in our tweet content for text, it should say you should have a tweet carousel content here. But since that's not populated on this particular record, we have to make sure that we call up a record that fits this particular condition. And since it's random, we're gonna have a hard time doing that. So what I'm gonna do is we're actually going to shut off Facebook. We're gonna shut that, disable that root, disable the root. All these roots here are disabled. We're disabling everything except the Instagram. And then we're also going to disable the Reels and then disable the carousels. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit running this once at random until it comes up and pulls an Instagram image post for this Placid over here. We're gonna see this one go here, and this is most likely going to error out. So what we're gonna do is, again, make sure you have all of these disabled so you've got all the other platforms so we're not randomly spam posting on all of our other platforms. And then we've got these ones here, so I'm gonna hit run once, ignore the warnings. Actually, that's not gonna work. So let's just delete that module here for now, add a route. Let's go back here, we're gonna add the route, which is going to be, set up a filter, which is going to be image, posts, condition, it's going to be text type, contains images. Okay, so to get this to work, you'll notice I've disconnected some of the randomness here for now. When you're going ahead and you're building this, you're gonna have to run this scenario a couple of times until it pulls up a random image post. Now, you're gonna get errors and you keep hitting the run once and you're gonna keep getting a big red box here that says errors, but essentially what you wanna do is it's going to keep erroring out because it doesn't know where to go because all of this is shut off until you get an image post. What I've done for the sake of this video is to basically unlink and set everything here off to the side with the randomness. And then what I did was I actually created this search records with the formula text type IG image to manually pull up an IG image post because I'm working off of a database that has hundreds of records. Yours is gonna have like 6. You're only gonna have to run it like 4 times. When it pulls an image record, it has this tweet carousel image now. Now you can go ahead with your Placid module. Placid module, again, connect Placid using the login method, do it all through make.com. Our method now is gonna be our template now is gonna be our demo post. Leave everything here empty until you come down here to tweet content. This is now in the text. Now you're gonna see tweet carousel content here. We didn't have it a couple seconds ago until we actually pulled up an image post. So tweet carousel content is going to go there. Hit save. Now we've got the post content over there. That's going to create the image for the Instagram post. Now what we have to do here is go ahead and add a module, Instagram for Business. We're going to create a photo post. This should already be connected from the other module. So just make sure that you select the right page if you've got multiple Instagrams. Now the photo URL is going to be the image URL from your Placid module. That's going to create that. The caption is going to be from your Airtable record. You see the post description, which is right there. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do, if you want to tag somebody in every single post, I don't go ahead and do that, but basically I leave the rest of this blank. I go ahead and I hit save. So that's going to create the image and the description on Instagram itself. It's going to pull all that stuff from the table in Airtable. Then what we're going to do to close this, we're going to copy, we're going to clone the data store. And again, it's erroring out here because I put these modules here off to the side for now. And as you'll see, it's erroring out here because I put the random modules here off to the side. On yours, it will not error because you'll still have all of this here connected. On the Airtable, we go ahead and we clone that again. We clone that there. So now what's going to happen is going to create the image, post the image, delete the store, and then update the record over to published. And now we're going to do essentially the same thing for Facebook with the long text. We're going to come over here to Facebook. We're going to come here into Placid. We're going to create a Placid, create an image. And now in here, the template is going to be the same demo post. Come all the way down here, keep everything blank except the tweet content, which is going to have the tweet carousel content here. Hit save. Then we're going to come over here, add a module, go to Facebook pages, and now we're going to create a post with photos. Now what we're going to do is the page, again, make sure that you select the right page. We're going to add a photo, and what we're going to do is we're going to upload a photo from a URL, or download a photo from a URL. So the URL is also going to be the URL here in the Placid module. Click that over there. Leave the caption blank. What we want to do is instead we want to put the description in the message section. So we've got our post here, in our post description here is message. Save. So now we've got that, and then again, like everything else, we want to delete that store, clone the store, clone the Airtable, and then bring them there up. Now that's our Facebook image is done. Blue Sky images, we can do the exact same thing. Come over to here to Placid, we're gonna do that, create an image, use our tweet image here, use that demo post, come all the way down, tweet content, text, tweet carousel content is there. And then we're gonna go into here, come here into Blue Sky to create the actual post. Then, because Blue Sky is a little bit weird, we first have to upload the media here to Blue Sky before we can add it to a post. So go to Blue Sky, upload media. Then what we're gonna do here is our file name. Again, make sure that you're connected here with Blue Sky. Then for what we're gonna do is we're gonna map, and then our file name. What I like to do is I'm gonna put here social ID, and then bring the social ID in there from the Airtable record. So if we're inside of our own Blue Sky, it's just gonna show the number of the social ID, and then we can just go link it up with the Airtable record. For data now, we're just gonna take the image URL, and it's gonna upload from that URL up to Blue Sky. Once it's there up in Blue Sky, now we're gonna come over to here, Blue Sky over here, create a post. The post is going to be the text, is gonna bring the description here from the Airtable. So media type here is going to be images. Then we're gonna go ahead and add an image. Our image description, we're going to leave blank there. Then we're gonna have a PNG image. An image identifier is going to be this blob, and then you'll go into your ref, and then you're gonna link. So you'll see this little blob ref link is down there. That's going to be. You come into there, hit save. Value must not be empty. So what I do, I put a space. Then we go ahead, we hit save. Once that is created, then we're just gonna go ahead and clone the data store, clone the Airtable, put that through there. Now our Blue Sky images are done. All we have left to do now is the Instagram carousel. Now the Instagram carousels are probably the most complex part of this, but so I'm gonna try to walk you through as slow as I can. Now, we already have an image post, which is good. But what I wanna do now is I wanna go and I wanna grab a carousel record. So what you might wanna do here on yours is to shut everything down, disable all of the routes except for the carousel post route here. So we've got Instagram up here, we've got carousel, everything else here is disabled. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna run your random record until you get one that is a carousel. And to make sure that you got one as a carousel, you're gonna click the little one here on this record. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna look here for text type. You wanna make sure that it says carousel right here. When you get that, stop running it. Now it's gonna say carousel. Now we can go ahead and we can create our carousel branch here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a bunch of images with Placid and then put them all together into a single post. This is what that's going to look like. From here, we're gonna come into here, and now we're gonna use the iterator module. And what the iterator module is going to do, it's gonna take this carousel and it's gonna split it by line. So each time basically you hit enter, it's gonna start a new picture. That's what we're gonna do to create its slide. So your side hustle won't replace your 9 to 5, is gonna be one slide. I tried the internet hustle and saw the truth fast is gonna be a second line, and so on and so forth. So here's how that's going to work. Now for the array, you're gonna come up here and you're gonna use the split function. So you're gonna find the A, come down here to where it says split, and you're gonna use the split. Now we have to tell Make how to split this up. So move your cursor here to the middle, and what we're gonna do is now we're gonna bring back to the star, and we're gonna use the tweet carousel content there. So we're telling it to split the values in the tweet carousel content, and now we wanna see how we want it split. And we want it to split by every new line. So come back here to the A, find new line, and click new line. When we do that, we hit save. We split that paragraph by line. Now what we wanna do is we wanna go to Placid, and we're gonna create an image for each of those lines. So what's gonna happen, it's gonna run basically in loops for every line that's there. It's gonna create an image. So what we're gonna do here is create image. Now for this template, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna use the same template with me on stage. We're gonna create those fake tweets like we see over here on Instagram. We're gonna use these little fake tweets here. So we're gonna come here into Placid, and then we're gonna create a template. Now for this one, I wanna go into, I'm gonna go to custom, and I wanna use 1080 by 1080. 1080 by 1080. So what's gonna happen is that's gonna give us a square post for Instagram. Now in here, as you can see, it's simple. It's kind of this little fake tweet here with an arrow. So what we're gonna do is we're going to add an image, a picture layer. And again, I think it's 150 by 150. And for that image there, we're gonna upload a file, come down into here, hit add. That's gonna be me. Actually, let's make me a little bit bigger over through there. So that's it. And then we're gonna add a text layer. We're gonna come down here, align to the left. We're gonna make this one Helvetic bold. I'm gonna put my name. That's there. Again, I think it's 50 pixels is and you'll see how it resizes it. So you want to bring this really wide and then use the 50, it'll resize there. I want to go into, I wonder if I can just clone this. I can. Clone that one there. Now we're going to come down here to make this, I think it's 35 for the username, which is @DOM. My username is there. And then we're not going to use bold. So we're going to use the light font here, bring that one down there. And then what we want to do, I think I'm just going to clone this one here too, and then swap this out for my verified tick, and then make that one real nice and small. Make that real nice and small, and now just make sure that the positions line up. We've got 373. Oh, I did that perfectly freehand. I'll bet you I'll never do that again. Now what we want to do is we also want to go and add a shape layer. I think that's where I got the arrow. Yep, there's an arrow. We're going to make the arrow in here black, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. We'll make that black. Put this one down here at the bottom to let people know that it continues. And then what we want to do is we want to add a text layer here for the actual carousel content itself. Leave this one here, align it to the left and to the top, and then make this 35. Again, the sizing doesn't really matter that much just because it's going to resize based on the length of the carousel. So that's there. And then what we're going to do is leave it in the regular font, which is there. Fine. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to rename all of these. Picture layer is going to be profile picture. This layer is going to be, this is going to be name. That's going to be username. This is going to be verified. New shape layer. This is going to be the arrow. That's going to be the slide content. So in there, that's going to be there. We're going to save this. But we're going to change this to, I'm going to call this slide demo. Again, name it something that you're going to remember. Go ahead, save that. So now we've got our post. Over here back in Make, we're gonna have our Placid connection, and now we've got our template. We don't have this here, so we go ahead and hit refresh. Once we hit refresh, we're gonna have our slide demo, use that template. And what we wanna do is we wanna leave everything blank except for the slide content. In the slide content, what we're gonna do here is text. We're gonna use the value from the iterator. So we're gonna use the value there from the iterator, and what it's gonna do, it's gonna keep going through it using the split content. You'll see when it runs in real time. I'll show you how that works. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hit save. Use the value. Now we actually have to close this. So we're gonna use the array aggregator. So what we've done is we've split that paragraph by line, created all the images, and now we're gonna put all the images together in a single post. Now for array aggregator, our source module is going to be the iterator over here. Now our target structure type is going to be a little bit different. We're gonna have to run this a couple times to get this right. So just make sure you have your carousel there. Target structure type, we wanna have this eventually say Instagram for business. But for now, we want to aggregate our image URL. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit save. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come here into Instagram for business. We're going to create a carousel post. Again, make sure that you have your Instagram set up. You're selecting the right Instagram page. Now for our files, what we're going to do is we're actually going to map our files. So make sure you check map on. And now we're going to use the array from the next one here. We're going to use the array from over here. For the caption, we're going to go in, bring the post description here from the Airtable. Remember, the content goes into the slides, the description goes on the post. If you want to see it here on Instagram, this is where the description goes over here. And again, the content is going to go inside the slides. When that's done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit save. Now, once that works inside the array aggregator for target custom structure type, we can come over here and select our Instagram for business. Now, once we have our Instagram for business, if we come back into our array aggregator, we come into here, we can select the files here for the Instagram for business. Media type is going to be image. Now for photo URL, we can just go and grab the image URL here on our Placid module and hit save. And now that's going to be much cleaner than having all that raw data. Go here and save it for good measure. What that's going to do, that's going to create the carousel. And then once the carousel is created, we're going to clone the data store to delete that record and then clone our Airtable to update it for published. And that's going to do our carousel. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to run this and we're going to create a carousel post here for Instagram. I'm gonna click the run. You'll see that it's gonna grab it, come up over here, and now you'll see if we zoom in here, it's creating one image, and then it's gonna create, this is gonna run 6 times, it's gonna create 6. And now it's running the second time, and now it's gonna run the third time. And it's just, again, this is gonna run through 6 times to create them, then put them together and create the carousel. Then once it's done doing the 6th, it's now gonna go aggregate them all together. And then we're gonna see Instagram business for Facebook. It's now creating that carousel post along with the description, pulling everything from Airtable. And now once that creates it, deletes it, updates the Airtable. Now if we come over here into the social, we refresh our Airtable, you'll see that this is now published. This carousel here is now showing here is published. And if we come over to our feed, we come over here to our post and we refresh, you'll see that we have a brand new carousel right here. Side hustle won't replace your 9 to 5. I tried the internet side hustle path, and this is everything that was there created along with a unique description. Now, the last thing we need to do before we can consider this done is what'll happen is we just have to set the frequency. Down here, how I have mine set is I actually have mine set to run every 90 minutes during the week, between like 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. So what I'm gonna have here, it's gonna go time from 6 o'clock a.m. is gonna be where the first post is gonna go out. And then time 2 is going to be 11 o'clock p.m. So I'm not really gonna post at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, because no one's really on right now. So between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. And I'm gonna have it go on all my days except weekends. Actually, I'll do it on all days, on all months. So now it's posting between 6 and 11 p.m. every single day, every hour, or every 90 minutes. To a random platform. Once we go there, we hit save, and then we activate the scenario. And now it's gonna run every hour and 30 minutes and post consistently with 100% accuracy. And there you have it. I know this was a very long video, but I showed you A to Z, everything that I did to create my short form machine. Again, all of the prompts, all of the documentation, all the templates are down below, linked in the description. If you enjoyed the video, drop a comment or share it with a friend who also wants to post content. And if you want even more training, I've actually left videos up here in the corners for you to go ahead and watch. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.